Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, once again I am back in my bathroom. I think in the last video where I was in here I talked about how I desperately need to declutter my jewelry, or at least get it organized, because I recently got this. I got a new jewelry box. But the reason I decided to get a jewelry box is because lately I've noticed that some of my jewelry looks a little bit tarnished just from being out in the open air, especially some pieces that I don't wear as often. And if you're new around here, I will show you in just a minute, but my jewelry has been organized on these chicken wire frames for many years. I bought them many years ago at Hobby Lobby, and I painted them a couple of times and just have had them for quite a while. So I have decided to get things organized into a jewelry box. I am trying to figure out where to store this jewelry box. It has been in my closet the last couple of weeks and I have had some jewelry in there, but I am finding, I don't know if it's just because I'm used to my jewelry being out here, I'll take it out of the jewelry box, bring it out here to put on. So I guess maybe I just need to get into the habit of using the mirror that's in my closet, or I don't really know. I don't know what I do. Maybe I set it down and, you know, like put in one earring at a time. It's like I need the mirror sometimes to put on jewelry. So I don't know. I need to decide that. And actually in this video I was also planning on cleaning out my closet and hopefully doing some decluttering and or rearranging in there to see what works most efficiently. I don't know if I will actually get that done today because I'm starting this project quite late in the day, so I may have to tackle my closet on a different day when I have a little bit more time. But for starters, for now, I'm going to work on getting my jewelry organized in this jewelry box. Okay, I'm going to talk through a couple of things really quick. So first of all, as you might have noticed, I have quite the collection of those large leather earrings, and I know that I do not wear them as often as I used to. I used to basically wear them daily. Like that's all I ever wore. I started collecting them probably over 10 years ago. So I do have quite a few, but I've kind of transitioned to more simplistic jewelry. Like this is pretty normal for me, just wearing gold hoops. I do still really like all of these leather earrings, and I actually have several more on the next little wire rack down. But I need to really evaluate this collection. I already know most of the necklaces that were on the top row I wear all the time. There's a couple that I'm questioning. I know one for sure I can get rid of, but I'm gonna see how I can get these organized. I'm also concerned about how I'm gonna organize these. Like I do have a spot here for earrings, but I don't know if this was intended for just studs or what. Seems hard to get off and on. So I am gonna see what I can do here.
Friends, I did forget to mention that today is Thursday, and on my channel that means Thoughtful Thursday. If you're new around here or just don't know what that means, every Thursday, in addition to bringing you some sort of cleaning, organizing, decluttering motivation, I also like to share my thoughts on a random topic, whatever topic happens to be on my mind that week, and just share my thoughts with you every Thursday. So please stay tuned. A little bit later on in this video, I will be sharing my thoughts on a topic. Here I'm just showing you how this drawer is looking so far. Like I had mentioned, I did already add some jewelry to this jewelry box prior to getting it organized today. And so I was just showing you that I had started putting some smaller, or I guess maybe medium-sized earrings in this drawer. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, maybe I wasn't ruthless enough with myself, but I definitely don't ever wear this necklace. I feel a little bit sad, but it is a Mickey Mouse necklace that I got at Disney World whenever I ran the Disney Princess Half Marathon, but I don't ever wear it. It was like a $25 necklace. It's not like real diamonds or anything. And then this one pains me too, but I don't ever wear this. My sister made this. Ugh, this is hard. I don't ever wear it though, but my sister made it for all of my sisters and I. But since I don't wear it, I'm gonna let go of it. I'm sorry, Heather. And then I have a couple pairs of earrings that I know that I don't wear very often. So these I'm perfectly fine letting go. I think I just bought these at Target. But these, part of my collection, I just know that I don't wear this pair as often as I wear other pairs. And I have this whole drawer full of pairs that I don't wear quite as often, but I want to keep. So, I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'll just stick them in there. And then this drawer is awkward. I do not have very many rings, and I prefer to just have them out right here, the ones that I wear. So this box, I wish that it just was another like plain empty box, or even like that, but I just stuck some long necklaces and then jewelry cleaners in there. So that is what it is looking like right now. Y'all, I probably should just get rid of these since I took them out. Yep, I took them out. And then this fell down. Okay,
I think this is supposed to be for bracelets, but I'm not sure. Let me know. Maybe I should go back and look at the Amazon thing. I don't want to have to clasp this every time though, but maybe I should. But then I was going to put these bracelets that I wear all of the time, I was going to put them right there. Although, look, that one doesn't want to stay. Maybe I should put them like that. Yeah. I wear them almost every day. So then this one can go in this bottom drawer with, these are all my other bracelets that I just don't wear quite as often, but I still wear them. So I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, y'all, I'm really struggling with this box. I mean, even these, like I'm saying, I don't wear them very often, but I still really love them. But anyway, I am trying my best to be ruthless. So I'm getting rid of another pair, which I still like these, but they really are not in good shape. You might not be able to tell on camera, but if you look up close, they're really not in good shape. So I can let those go. I will probably eventually let these go, but like I've said before, it's okay to declutter slowly, to get rid of things just little by little and get rid of what you feel comfortable getting rid of. Okay, friends, I do not have the time or the desire to deep clean this closet right now. It needs to be done. I definitely need to vacuum in here, steam vacuum, wipe down all the shelves, and I do always like to declutter when I'm doing that, and so I definitely want to do that. However, like I said, I just don't really want to do the whole shebang right now. So I thought, well, I have a little bit of momentum, maybe I'll go through my clothes. I don't know if I'll be able to declutter anything. I was a little bit on the struggle bus with the jewelry, but yet I was able to declutter some items that I was really struggling to declutter in the past. And so I thought maybe I will just go through my clothes. I might as well. I have a little bit more time left in my day before I need to wrap things up for the day. So maybe if I do the decluttering today, that'll make the deep cleaning less daunting when I get around to that. Let's see what I can find. Okay, but let's not go through memorabilia today. Nope. I feel like that's not bad though. That small box, that's all I have. So seasonal clothes, let's see. I think I recently went through these. These are all like winter leggings and stuff for working out in the winter. So I think I am just going to not deal with this until the winter season. We'll see what I get out and use this winter.
creating a big mess. So I pulled down those 2 boxes, those 2 pairs of shoes. I definitely wear those white ones, and I actually want them to be out, and I'm trying to figure out how to rearrange my shoes so that I can have those out too in a way that makes sense. So yeah, let me try to figure that out and I will be back. On this day, I did film a segment where I sat down and I went through each item of clothing and told you why I was getting rid of it. But this video was starting to get really long, especially since it was 2-part where I was working on my jewelry box and decluttering my clothes, and then on another day deep cleaning this space. So I didn't want to make it even longer. So I decided I will hold that footage until my end of the month declutter with me video, and that way I can go through each item individually and explain why I chose to get rid of it. I was actually quite impressed with my pile. I was impressed with how much I was able to get rid of on this day because I wasn't even sure that I was going to get rid of anything, and I ended up getting rid of quite a lot, as you saw from that pile. And here I am just trying to organize my shoes in a way that makes sense. I never really liked that some of my tennis shoes were on the other shoe rack, so I was glad I was able to organize it in such a way that I have all of my tennis shoes on one shoe rack now, and I feel like the way I have it organized works really well for me.
Okay friends, this is another day. I am fully rejuvenated and ready to tackle deep cleaning this closet. And I'm sitting here because I wanted to show you where I ended up putting my jewelry box, which it's a little bit difficult to get to, but I feel like this is the most practical place to put it. And then I was going to buy a piece of wood to fit across this space right here so that the jewelry box would be stable and so that I could put some items on there. However, when I was at Lowe's, I saw this little turntable Lazy Susan thing, and I thought this will probably work better, that the base of this jewelry box is pretty sufficient to keep it stable. And then I have this little spot where I can keep some of the things that I use to get ready, like my deodorant, lotion, stuff like that. And actually, I decided to put my bracelets that I wear every day, I decided to put them on this little turntable. And then over here, I put some other bracelets that I sometimes, some other beaded bracelets that I wear sometimes on here instead of in my bracelet drawer. So I think that'll work well because honestly, most days I end up wearing these Outer Spirit bracelets that I worked with them at one point. But this video is not sponsored by them or anything. I just absolutely love these bracelets. But I could definitely talk more about these Outer Spirit bracelets because I absolutely love them, and I do feel like they do what they were designed to do. They are actual gemstones that, or I think that's what they're called, gemstones, that connect to different chakras. And like I said, I need to talk about it again because this is the New Beginnings pack, and I feel like this year has definitely been a lot of new beginnings for me. So anyway, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get into deep cleaning, but I hope this portion of the video brings you some more motivation.
Okay, friends, I really appreciate you sticking around so long in this video. I'm finally getting around to being able to share my Thoughtful Thursday thoughts. Prior to this moment, I was quite chatty in this video, but let me get into the topic for today. I wanted to talk about a quote that I shared on Instagram earlier this week. I am often so inspired by quotes, so I do like to share them with you and chat in more detail about what it means to me. The quote that I shared is from Vincent van Gogh, and it says, "If I am worth anything later, I am worth something now. For wheat is wheat, even if people think it is grass in the beginning." I was curious as to whether Van Gogh actually said this quote, or at least where it originated from. As is common on the internet, there were conflicting beliefs about whether this was a Van Gogh quote, but the most common information I saw was that it was from him. It was a letter he had sent, or a quote from a letter he had sent to his brother Theo, where he was predicting that he, like many other artists of his time, may become famous after death. I'm not sure of the timeline of when Van Gogh's work became popular, but I can assure you that he painted a lot of artwork that was not of any notable importance. It reminded me that becoming successful takes time. Yes, there are a few who experience an overnight success, but for a majority of people, success takes trial and error, hard work, consistency, and time. I think the idea that success takes time is not popular. We live in a time where everything is fast, easy to acquire, right at our fingertips. We can find information easily, communicate with others quickly, even if they live across the country or across the world, and buy things with one click. We must accept that success is something worth working towards. We must accept that we will have to put in the hard work consistently to get to where we want to be. It usually does not happen overnight. Oftentimes, when we see someone who is experiencing success in their lives, we see the success, where they are now, but we don't see what it took for them to get there. It is a process. We see the wheat, but what we did not see is the stage where they looked like grass. Even in those earlier stages where they had failures and setbacks, they were still on the trajectory to becoming the wheat. The difficult part is we never know how long that path of failures and setbacks and learning will take. And I think so often, even when we reach success, we are still looking for something more. Many of us have that "what now" feeling when we have achieved a milestone or a goal. Because it is human nature to look towards the next achievement, it is important to learn to be at peace with where you are. Believe me, I know how hard this can be, and I still struggle with this at times, looking towards the future instead of just enjoying where I am right now. As I look back at my life, I do think I wished some of my life away, waiting for the next stage. Finding peace in your current stage of life can happen when you stop resisting where you are. Name the stage you are in. Is this a season of building, healing, transitioning, grieving, growing, or resting? Sometimes naming the stage gives you more grace with yourself to lean into this chapter. Letting go of the shoulds, like "I should be further along" or "I should be doing more," will help you to be more grounded in the stage that you're in. I often talk on my channel about being present in life. And I often refer to this, but it's always worth repeating. There are many practices that can anchor you to the present. Having healthy routines will help you to stay grounded, like mindfulness or meditation, journaling, exercise, eating healthy, and keeping a regular sleep schedule. All of these things can help you to live in the moment. Often when we feel unrest, it is because we are trying to control our circumstances. If we can shift our focus from control to curiosity, that will help us to feel more at peace. Instead of trying to problem solve or just ruminating about how to get out of this stage, ask yourself what this stage is trying to teach you or what you are learning about yourself in this stage. When you shift to curiosity, once again, it makes space for grace for yourself in this season of life. Also, honor your pace. Quit looking at what others are doing and recognize that we all are on our own journey, and that is okay. Okay, friends, that is all I have to share for today's Thoughtful Thursday message. I do hope it inspired or encouraged you in some way. Remember that you may feel like you look like grass right now, but wheat is wheat, even if people think it's grass in the beginning. I do always love hearing your thoughts on my thoughts down in the comments, so please let me know. And if you don't have anything to share, just type out wheat is wheat. I ask you to type out phrases sometimes, and it does help my channel because the more engagement I get, the more likely my videos are to be pushed out, and that way I can reach more people, inspiring and encouraging more people. But it also helps your brain solidify in your mind what I just talked about and helps you to just grasp it a little bit more. So please type that down in the comments, wheat is wheat, and or let me know your thoughts.
Every thought and word and all the precious time I'll spend my nickels and my dimes, 'cause there is no price to you. You're one so far and few, yeah. Around the blue we'll take our time. When you are far, all that I want is to be near, yeah. Even on rainy days I want to share your tears. You are my joy, you give me peace, you are my friend. As long as I get to be with you until the end, yeah, we'll sing it out. Take me to Germany and take me to Spain. Maybe Los Angeles, it's all okay. Wherever you will be,
Okay, my friends, that is all I have for today's video. I do hope that it was inspirational or motivational for you to get a space in your home cleaned up, organized, decluttered. I also hope that you were encouraged by what I shared in the voiceover, and I always appreciate each and every one of you who stays until the very end. It really does help my channel. But as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.